to WRPB and WRPB Studios. So, the young lady next to me does something that's probably been around a while, but it's really become more of a fad now that's helping so many people moving forward. With me is Christina Ramsey.
Yep.
And what's the name of your company?
Mobile IV of the Palm Beaches and Treasure Coast.
Okay, so let's just clarify what mobile IV is. What is mobile IV?
We go to people's homes, it's all nurses, and we provide infusions for lots of different things.
Well, how do you know, how do you know what someone needs, or how do you know what to give somebody IV wise?
Well, because we're all nurses and trained and we work under a physician, but when they call to order the service, we have them fill out a healthcare questionnaire, and they
Right.
usually um, will tell us what they're looking for: energy, weight loss, immunity to boost their immune system, for vitamin replacement or dehydration. There's a lot of good
So
uses.
is it depends on the mix of cocktail that you
Mhm.
put together. Can you put one together that wins the lottery?
Oh
Because that
yeah,
I
that'd
can
be
use
nice.
that one. I could use that one.
Right?
So how long? So you're a nurse?
Mhm.
How long you been a nurse?
20 years.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh my God! Would you start at like two?
Right out of high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get into this industry. Why did you get into this? Why did you get into doing IVs?
Well, I did it as a side business. I was working delivering babies the last 7. I did cardiac for 12, but um, just noticed there was a need. A lot of people were going to facilities and receiving infusions, and some people were too sick to get there and couldn't make it to the hospital, or just didn't feel well enough to get there. So a lot of people needed it to be in their home. Also, they didn't want to be exposed to different viruses and things by going to the hospital,
Right.
so it was a need to provide it mobily. And
Isn't so taking like someone like me who's had triple bypass.
mhm.
Me taking an infusion is a lot different than just anybody else.
Well, there are parameters. So
Okay.
someone with congestive heart failure or kidney perfusion issues, we ask those questions before we come out. They can't receive fluid usually because we don't want fluid overload. But for the general public, usually you can. And we can do children 10 and up. So depending on their weight, it's versus a liter of fluid or 500 milliliters. And then we add everything in the bag. We start the IV, give them the infusion, and then whatever they tell us is their needs, we'll add those things in, the vitamins, and there's 5 different meds that we can do, and we'll put it in the IV.
Okay, so what do most people ask for?
The Myers is the most common one. It's got 6 different vitamins: B12, B complex, zinc, glutathione, and magnesium, and vitamin C. But there are people that will call for, I had a migraine this week, and instead of going to the hospital, we can give them the same treatment at home. So we can do Benadryl, Toradol, magnesium. That would go in a migraine cocktail. And then I have stuff for nausea, Zofran. We have stuff for stomach acid, Pepcid, and Reglan. And then, like I said, Toradol is an NSAID, not a narcotic, but we can give that for pain or inflammation too.
So basically, you're, and I don't want to take it lightly, but basically you're a convenience for most people.
Yeah.
Okay, makes it so much easier not leaving your home. How long is usually, for lack of a better word, and I'll use this word because it's probably wrong. How long does this drip take?
32 minutes to an hour, just depends on their vein. But most people, it takes 20, 30 minutes. If they have little veins, it may take an hour. But most people are done in a half hour.
And from the little bit that I know, if you if someone who had cardiac issues is doing it, I guess the drip's got to be really slow.
Yeah, well, there are parameters. Say somebody with POT syndrome can't have it running wide open because they can get tachycardic or rapid heart rate.
Okay.
Somebody, but most people can tolerate it wide open. Uh, you know, they don't usually have issues. But if they start to feel anxious or their heart racing, then we can slow it down and it resolves the issue.
O-
But rarely does that happen.
Okay, so I call you up and I say, "Hey, this is the story. I heard about you. What questions are you gonna ask me before you come?"
I ask them, have you had any blood clots in the last 6 months? Because that's also, we can't treat. Congestive heart failure, any issues with If you've ever had chemo or radiation, that lets us know that your veins are a little bit harder, and we use a smaller needle. Um, and just get like a health care questionnaire, find out what medications you're on, because we will do a set of vitals when we get there. And then after the infusion, we do vitals too. So we like to know if you're on blood pressure medication and things like that. So you do a whole general history, you sign a consent.
Those are all me.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm on blood pressure medication. Uh,
Most
I
everyone is, yeah.
I had the heart attack and the triple bypass. As for clots, obviously I had clots because I had 2 strokes last year.
Hmm.
So, um, but I think that like the normal person might not know what issues they have. Okay, so I mean, how do you combat that? Like you call me up and say, "Well, what do you want?" All right, well, I'm not on anything because people don't want to go to doctors.
Hmm.
Okay, so basically, what I don't know can hurt
Yeah,
me, which is a really bad way to go.
yeah.
That's why I got 2 strokes. But I know, like I said, I know that if you have heart issues, that IV is a little trickier than normal.
Well, it depends. That's a broad term, heart issues. It could be a lot of reasons. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of red flags other than congestive heart failure, blood clot within the last 6 months, or if you have you're on dialysis or have one kidney, then I would look at your GFR. But we have parameters, so and a lot of people don't know what they need, so they'll
Right.
tell us their symptoms, and then we know what we can offer, and we can recommend the cocktail or combination that they would need.
Okay, so
And if we do your blood pressure and it's over our parameters, we can't treat you. But
that would be me
anybody,
too.
yeah.
That would
So.
be me too. I remember going to the doctor until I got my blood pressure under control. I went once, it was 220 over 170.
Mm,
And he wouldn't let me leave.
yeah,
Okay? He said,
because
"You
you'd
can't
have a
leave."
stroke, yeah.
Yep. So, and my blood pressure now is still what I guess you would consider high, which is between 132 and 136
No,
over 73.
that's perfect.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a great blood pressure.
oh. Well,
And
because everybody hears 120 over 80.
no, that's what people think is a normal blood pressure, but
Right.
everyone's norm is different. So your norm is 130s over 70s, and that's a good blood pressure. We don't treat if the top number's over 175 or the bottom's over 110. So there's a lot of people can receive it.
Okay. Do most people, I'm going to guess that most people want some sort of vitamin B for energy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
most cocktails have those. You can also do it as a shot. Some things you can do as a shot, but if you're getting an IV, you put it in the IV.
So do you do shots too? If
Hmm.
someone wants a vitamin B shot?
Hmm. Yeah, we don't travel because, just for a shot, for someone to
Right.
drive all the way to your house to do a shot. Um, the nurse, usually you build a rapport with the nurse who becomes your mobile IV nurse, and if they're around you, they can text you and say, I'm in the area, and swing by, give you a shot. Or we do a lot of marketing events and things at different events outside, and people can come by and get a shot, or at a gym, we'll do it.
So uh, let's just say that I got on Tuesday, I got IV with vitamin B's and stuff. Can I, would I be, for lack of a better, overdosing if I got another B on Thursday?
No, you can do it. I would do it once a week. Your max dose would be 3 milliliters, and we usually just do zero point 0.6 each time. So most people are deficient in their
Right.
B12. You'll know if you see your labs, but once a week, most people do them once a week.
I'm scared to look at my labs.
Yeah.
I just got labs done,
Hmm.
and I guess it didn't say that I had a fast, and I didn't know you had to fast if you get labs done.
Yeah.
So some of my numbers were high,
Mm.
and the doctor compared them to my 6 months ago. They said, Wayne, it is really very, very difficult for your labs to change that much in a 6 month period. One being my sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, my sugar has always been 1.1, and this time it was 148.
Yeah, it's just because you weren't fasting. So, rule of thumb, you should always fast before all labs.
Okay, and those things are like, and the reason I bring those up with someone who's just doing mobile IV is because I want you to know that when you call them, you're dealing with professionals, and not
Mm.
professionals that just know this little niche of IV.
Yeah.
they know medical. Okay, these are professionals that know basically the whole gamut of what's going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why did you decide to get into the medical field in general?
Oh, I did it back in high school. When my mother was a CNA, and I just knew I wanted to help people, so I've done every every avenue: CNA, LPN, RN.
Oh, wow.
Then I wanted to have my own business and saw how much I was helping people, and they needed a mobile, um,
Now,
mobile
okay,
aspect. So
so this IV stuff that you do now, where do you learn it? I mean, is there classes that you?
well, no, you learn. You're already skilled in it. Being a nurse, you have to know how to start IVs. But I've done it for 20 years, so all the girls that we have are really good at IVs. Most of them are NICU nurses, so they do babies. But I mean, just learn, because you have to go to people who are very dehydrated or
That
just
would be
have
me.
bad veins, and you know all the
That-
tricks to make it happen. So,
you know, we met at the opening of Hope Health and Wellness,
hmm
and Steve, who's there, he did my blood draw,
okay,
and I'm a terrible stick. Okay, uh, but he got in one shot, and there was no, I guess, after stuff that would usually like have
no bruising and
no
stuff. You
bruising.
mean?
Yeah, usually a lot of bruising. I had an experience, and this is why you want to use a nurse or a doctor, because you want. It's really important for them to know what they're doing.
Hmm.
Okay, because I was in the hospital, and I guess the IV kind of blew out, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And he came out and he tried to stick me, stick me, stick me. He couldn't get it. He said, "Well, I could fix the other one."
Mm.
So I
Uh-oh.
went to sleep after he said he was fixed. I woke up an hour later, and there was a
A balloon.
basketball-sized circle
Hmm.
of blood.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is so important for you to use the person who knows what to do, but not only who knows what to do, but who knows what to do if something else goes wrong.
Well, we don't leave. We're with the client the whole time,
Right.
so we're watching it, and we're going to catch if there's an issue. But like I said, rarely. I've never seen it infiltrate. When we do it, we use a lot teenier catheters than you would use in a hospital, so it's more comfortable. But yeah, we know what to look for, and we're not just doing IVs. We're a lot of time people are asking us for a home health aide. Do we have a referral to this company? Or I'm helping them set up healthcare insurance. We go and we care. We're not just infusing them with vitamins. We're doing a lot more than that.
Right, but the path that I'm going down for whatever reason is that not everything in this world is perfect.
Hmm.
And if something goes wrong with a company that's just doing it and they're not, this is all they know. If something goes wrong, you're really stuck. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that things are going to go wrong, but you want to be prepared. You want to hedge your bets. And that's why you have, is all your people RNs?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a nurse only. Can't be a paramedic or a medic or anything. It has to be a
So,
nurse.
I mean, you know, you should be able to feel safe that the people who are taking care of you are going to be able to take care of you if there is an issue. Okay, we're getting to half our time. How do people contact you?
You can go to the website, www.mobileivofthepalmbeaches.com, or you can call the number 561-589-8989. You can also schedule online, or you can call or text.
So, if I, let's just say I called you today, when, how long does it take from the time they call you to somebody coming out?
Most people, we do same day,
Oh, do
because
you?
if you're not feeling well, you don't want to wait till tomorrow. Um, we're usually there within 2 hours, 2, 3 hours, sometimes quicker.
I think in my mind, I limit IV to, hey, I just need more energy, or
Hmm.
not that it's IV for a per se health reason,
Hmm.
but you do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. A lot of people do it weekly or twice a month because they feel the difference. What you take orally, you only absorb 8%, and what you take through the IV, you absorb 98%. So you feel different. People usually feel different halfway, but through the bag, and they're like, "Oh, I feel so much better." It's not just for hangover, which is what people thought. There's so many reasons
I don't drink,
to
so
use it.
I won't use it for that.
I do companies. Right now, there's a lot. It's so hot outside, so I actually have done a gutter company, and He has all his employees do it 10 people at a time because they're going out to work on the roofs, and he doesn't
Dehydration?
want them to have a heat stroke, and half of those guys don't have health insurance, and so this is a preventative measure that he offers to his staff.
Everybody, always use a professional. And this for sure is not a DIY project, okay? But make sure whoever you use, make sure that they're at minimum a nurse, okay? With that, Christina, I want to thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Everybody have a great day. We'll be right back.
Thank you.